When you hear the word arthritis, you might think of a condition that affects joints like wrists and knees, and mainly in elderly people.
However, it is in fact the most common cause of disability in children. Tonight we speak to a young mother and her daughter who both have arthritis. Simi Jolaoso has been to meet them.
9-year-old Jamie isn't using crutches because she's broken her foot. She was diagnosed with arthritis at just 2 years old. So while her sisters are on the trampoline, Jamie can only watch.
It stops me from going on the trampoline, stops me from running, stops me from jumping, it stops me from bending and straightening. And it makes me feel sad and it hurts.
Her mother Josie, who's only 39, has also had the condition since she was 12, although hers was never as bad as Jamie's.
I used to have to carry her into school. Her primary school teacher used to have to carry her up the stairs so she could sit on the bench in the playground. It can be difficult for people to understand that she does have a disability because it's not visible, but knowing how uncomfortable it can be and how exhausting it can be, that side of things are tough, but at least we can be a bit of a team and we both know what each other's going through.
They have juvenile idiopathic arthritis, which affects only 1 in 1,000 children across the UK. It means frequent visits to the doctor, weekly injections, monthly blood tests, and also quarterly eye tests, as it can lead to blindness. All of this can take its toll.
It's an emotional challenge. It's certainly character strengthening, and it's been tough for her, yes, and it's something that we talk about regularly. But it's made Jamie a pretty strong person.
Despite the challenges that come with having arthritis, it's helped Jamie discover a new hobby.
I do really like art and drawing. I don't have pain in my fingers that often. It's one of the things I can do without something hurting, and I really like that.
Jamie has accepted that her condition limits what she can do, but she's determined not to let it limit her quality of life. Simi Jolaoso, ITV News.
Well, Anne Gilbert is from the National Rheumatoid Arthritis Society. Anne, thanks for coming on the programme. Jamie's story we've just heard there, incredibly sad. To be perfectly honest, I didn't realise arthritis could affect people that are so young.
No, you're absolutely right, and sadly, that's the case with with many people. I mean, there are between 12 and 15,000 children and young people under the age of 16 across the whole of the UK who have juvenile idiopathic arthritis.
And how important is that early diagnosis?
Early diagnosis really is absolutely key. I mean, if you imagine what juvenile arthritis is, in effect, is it's the autoimmune system that's gone wrong, and it's kind of attacking your joints rather than preserving them. So once your joint has been attacked, it doesn't get better. It has to you have to stop that to stop any further damage, and potentially it has to be replaced. I was talking to a dad earlier on this week actually, and it's really sad because his son is just 19. He's just had his first hip replacement because of juvenile arthritis, and he has had juvenile arthritis for a long time, but wasn't diagnosed until really recently. And that means that he's had to have his hip replaced because the damage was too great, and the treatment just wasn't started early enough. He's got to have his second hip replaced in the new year, and had he been diagnosed when he first had it, when the symptoms first came out, maybe 10 years ago, it would be a completely different story for him,
Yeah, and it sounds like early diagnosis is key. Anne Gilbert, we'll have to leave it there. Thanks very much for coming on the programme.